Okay. We are gonna try and find a spot for a little bit of shade. Because I can't handle this anymore. I need shade. Oh my. Okay, so you guys, if that wind keeps on coming in, and I come back, a little later, and if there's parking available here, we might be able to do the bed. But right now, as it stands, and that'll be after my shorts show up. So, but right now, I need to get into some kind of shade. I just came from my mom's place, and yeah, it's a doozy up there. What timing to be in this area. You can feel the breeze, and it feels freaking great, man. When your body starts to cool down like that. Oh man, I'm telling you, last 3 to 4 days, and been around nothing but humidity, heat, and everything. Like, I know it's summertime and all, right, and a lot of people can handle it, but when I was in my teens, 20s, and the start of my 30s, okay, I was able to handle any kind of heat, hitting the beach. It didn't really matter. I'd be red as a lobster. Stupid enough not to wear sunscreen, but hey, when I was only young, and a whole bunch of us would be doing the same thing, and playing football and everything else. Now that I'm, reached the half a century mark, ever since I hit my early 40s, I guess it was, I've been unable to handle the heat. Right, so it's been dreadful, man. And well, I guess you could say it doesn't help that I wear jeans all the time. But when the shorts show up, it'll be different story. Because by that way, my body can actually air out, so it won't be overheated all the time. That could be another reason why I'm feeling worn out too. So we'll see. Tomorrow I'll be probably, when it comes in, I'll wash the shorts today, and then I will wear them tomorrow and see how much a difference that's going to have. So, but right now I'm going to enjoy being in the shade for a while, and I had to clearly move the van too because there are bylaws. So, but it just feels great. I was actually watching another YouTuber yesterday. How she is I think she said she was back east, and she said it's so smoking hot out she can't handle it. And then I was watching my buddy who's on TikTok, and he said he's been getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. Right, and I was like, gee, you know what? I'm kind of lucked out here because I've got sweet blood. Right, and mosquitoes, when they want to be around me, that's it, man. I've become a little bit of an eating fest. So, but I've escaped it so far this year. So far, anyway. I haven't gotten out there to experience it yet, right? But his dog and all been getting like you should have seen him on his live, swatting them, killing them, and everything. He had like 15 mosquitoes. Oh, it's like, Jesus, man, that's just nuts. So, but, that was another thing too I'm thinking about doing is, and I I got to figure out how I'd be able to pull this one off. But I was thinking of maybe putting a bug or a mosquito net. I got one put away, right? I was going to use it, and then I had to leave the situation I was in 4 years ago. But I got one. It's too big for here, right? But it would. But I'm thinking, it might go in the back here, go right across, right? So when I open it up, you know, if I ever end up going camping in this thing, then at least the net will be on that. I'm going to try and find 2 more, and if I have to tape them on, I will. You know, after all, you know, they're just netting, right? But at least they're magnets, eh? So you could just walk out, and hopefully that will keep the bugs out. If you know, because yeah, boondocking, man, it could be fun. It can be fun. It just depends on where you are, right? So, because I know there was someone else who I was actually just watching one YouTuber. Where she says she was, Arizona. Yeah, and apparently they got a whack load of mosquitoes down there too, right? So it's just they're all over the world, little vampires. So. But one of the next things I'm going to be doing, you guys. Oh, one thing I'd like to know from you guys. Okay, since I'm in the shade and I can actually feel a lot better right now. Okay. Okay, remember the time when I accidentally shattered my window, or was it this one here? No, No, it wasn't shattered. No, that was the other window. Sorry, this window here. Stayed down, or yeah, something like that. I don't really have much of it. I think it stayed down. Something happened with the railing or something. No, it was the power, because the power box is down under here, right? So there's 4 fuses down there. One of them wasn't working, and I had to get my mechanic to figure out which one wasn't working and put that in there, right? So anyways, all of this here is all glue. So what's the best solution to get that off, right? Because it's all along here too, right? And it's underneath. Well, underneath here, that's the Gorilla Glue, right? That's not. I don't think that's going to come off, right? But I've kept. Wow, this thing's actually stayed on, and the Gorilla Glue is underneath here. But how do I get all of this stuff off? Is the question. You can't use a scraper. That's what you guys are going to think. Oh, just scrape it up. Even though I don't think it really would really matter at this point. Probably, I don't think it would matter much, but yeah, I want to get that off. So, oh, my body's really starting to cool down compared to what I've been used to in the last bunch of days. It feels nice, you know. The only difference right now is the fact that I have an aluminum water container and I forgot to bring it with me. Well, there's such thing as a dollar store to go get water, right? So, dehydration, you got to keep hydrated massively in this heat. You know, it's the humidex is going to hit about 36 today, right? So, really, it just really depends on where I'm going to be. But, anyways, might as well show you guys what I've done here. Now, bear with the mess. Okay, bear with it, because what was it? The day before yesterday, when I actually had energy, I just threw the stuff in here. All right, so everything is like this for now, and you know, it's going to be all organized hopefully by tomorrow, or even, like I said, it could even be this afternoon, right? And I'm going to try and see about getting the bed put in there. Now, depending on the temperature too, which I should actually be opening the doors to let the heat out. I got my hockey sticks in there too. So, but these suckers here are going to have to be bolted in, screwed in, whatever. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I've still got a little bit of work to do in there, but it's just the heat's been getting in the way, and I just don't feel like doing anything when there's extreme heat. You know, if I was able to turn the van on and have air conditioning, it'd be one thing, right? But my AC compressor hasn't worked since I got it, right? The compressor is actually at the front of the van, but it's like halfway down. So I think I'm not mistaken, you got to take the belt off, and then apparently there's I think there's 4 bolts that hold it in. Yeah, I think so. And then it should come out, right? But I don't have it in me to do it. So, but and then I have to figure out. Hold on, just kids coming. All right, here are the sirens. Probably people overheating. So, I had to let the. I think it's a Korean preschool go by. So, but yeah, there's been massive amounts of sirens, man. I think a lot of people are overheating because a lot of places, their circuit board and the wiring in their buildings cannot handle the electrical surge of an air conditioner, right? So, and as a result, I think like my mom right now, like she's just drinking up a storm with water, with the fans going and everything. But when the temperature out here is, say for example, 28, it's close to 35 to 40 degrees in there, right? And I honestly, I don't know how the hell she does it, right? There's been times I tried to do it, and the other day when it hit 31 out here, I don't know what the humidex was, right? And I was actually making those legs in there. I had to continuously stop, right? Because I would be drenched in sweat and everything, and I'd be feeling like it was just nuts. I was like, what the hell? Right? So I know it's a lot of salt and water retention too that does it, but still, when you're only doing these, like for example, putting those in, right? And gluing it up, you shouldn't be sweating from just doing that. But with the heat, well, I've even worked in warehouses, you guys, where it'd be just like I'm just doing something and I'm just drenched in sweat, and people are like, what the hell? And it just takes my body time to adjust, right? So, or it could just be hereditary. Anyways, one of the other things that I got to do too, in the next couple of days here is I got to check on that coolant hose, and there was a tad a burning smell, but I don't know if it's from that little hose that it goes like this. It goes out, turns around, and goes up, right? But it's not fully on the spots, and I was told I have to cover up those full. Maybe I could try to look at that today, actually. Maybe I should take a look at that. I've also got my other cell phone on me too, because I got this walk cache thing. Oh man. Really? Oh, my hand just touched it too. I think I'm gonna go wash my hands. That just felt wrong. Bird crap. It's due for a cleaning anyway, right? So I'm just gonna leave it and let it air out. So I know a lot of people around here. So all right. There's a lot of people, including city workers, who are actually sitting in the shade right now. Right now, it doesn't feel overly too bad, but the index hasn't exactly kicked in yet, right? So, but this area here, because I was raised in this area, right? And so when I know a lot of the people along here, and that's one thing too, is that if you get to know an area, whether they're houses or not, okay, and you tell them the kind of lifestyle that you have, you may end up having landlord be very lenient and not care if you're parked here overnight, right? Around here, there's only three house owners who don't like people with their vehicles overnight. Everyone else is like, you're not bugging me, who cares, right? So I could probably very easily park right here overnight and not get disturbed. So it's a tough one, to be honest with you, but It's only the truth. That there's a very good possibility of that. But I'm not going to do that though. So, not unless it was maybe a parking lot to where they allow someone to park, right? So, but otherwise that, you know, like I left it unlocked, doors are open. That's how comfortable I feel around here. So, and it actually aired out pretty good in here. That little fan I was telling you guys, I got this fan 5 years ago, okay, when I had my Dodge Caravan. And I'm telling you, this thing's called a sharper image. Do not buy it. Even at full power, you can't feel it, right? I think it'd be good for maybe a bedroom or something like that if you're at a computer and you're sitting with it, you know, so that way it's beacon on you, you know, but yeah, I don't recommend it. I'm going to have to, because I got the Jackery 300, the original, I think I'm going to have to buy another fan like this, so that way when I'm sleeping in here, I'm going to be able to have something like, I don't know if it's going to be up on the corner or if it could be over there on the side over there, but I got to have something to where it's going to be blowing on me, right? So, you guys, we're only, to be safe, I don't know, let's see, the wedding is in 2 weeks. Hello. You know, so with the wedding being in 2 weeks, and then any time after that, we could be jumping ship, right, to a different area. So I basically right now have about 2 weeks to have this done. Because my son was like, I want to see what your bed looks like when it's done. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. I've also still got to finish off the cook station too. You know, I want to put a backboard on it, right? And I got a board. Okay, I got 2 boards upstairs, right? Which I can bring down, and I could actually in reality, I could put them right on that thing without a problem, sideways. But the middle of it, it's going to need a platform, right? Because I'm going to want to have something there, like cookery stuff or whatever. Or, like, I got a bunch of ideas. Like, actually, I'd like to know ideas from you guys, so you guys see how it is, right? Okay, where the bottom part has the part that goes across, but there's nothing in the middle. What do you guys think? I'm thinking that maybe a frying pan situation there, so it puts a little bit of a lip there too, so it stops it from coming out. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. Doing all this to learn. And I actually probably, feel that breeze. Look at the color of the leaves already. Oh, it feels so freaking nice. I don't even feel like talking about the van right now. I just want to talk about how nice it feels out here. You know, when you get overheated after a while and your body starts to tell you that it's time for a change, you got to listen to it. Wow. I know this isn't very entertaining today, you guys, but maybe later on when hopefully if it does cool down, I can start doing what I got to do in here. I'm talking about, you know, like I originally said, it was about the bed. Can't wait till for it to be done. Another reason why I've been holding off about that is because, you know, there's been a few different things going on around there, and I just don't want to put a bad image. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing for now anyway. I'm going to enjoy, you know, feeling the breeze for now, and yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys in a bit. So here I was about to do something. My mom calls me up. I need a few items from the store. Like, okay, here we go. And I also had to fix her cart here because the bolts were coming off. because with the way how rough things are around here now, you know, like if you have a grocery cart, you know, the bolts are going to come loose, right? So the concrete's really, really, really just... You gonna stop? Are you gonna stop? Stop. And I also do need to get a paper towel for her too. I'm gonna steal a couple of rolls because I'm gonna get some water or whatever, and I'm gonna start washing the sucker down a little bit. Those things, however, have, I don't know, moss, mold, whatever it is on it, so I gotta get that crap off too. So, don't know how. Would a wire brush do it? All I know is I want to get it off. Okay. Good thing is the two items that she wants are light. I just need to bring the cart because it would just be a lot easier to deal with, because if I don't get parking here, then I got to park elsewhere. Hold on a second. Come on. And then hold on. So yeah, I'm trying to do everything I can to get the videos out to you guys. This is my life, man. Trying to help out, keep myself going at the same time, and it's hard to do. Hopefully this area here will be perfect later on to do what I gotta do. But, you know, temperature wise, I might have to wait till after 5 o'clock. So, I always repeat it. I'm going to keep on repeating it till it's done, because you know why? That's the way I am. So. All right, let's get to the store. I got a problem. The van's trying to crank, but now it's not starting. This is not good. What the? I got half a tank of gas. I might have to check my check engine light. It could be spark plugs. Could be anything. This happened to me last time too, when I had a car and it wouldn't start. And it turned out it needed a spark plug change, and I do not have the money for it right now. It's not starting. The temperature is only on 70, or well, it's on 80, so it's not the temperature. Half a tank of gas. It's like it's not feeding. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. It's not feeding freaking gas. I'm gonna have to get my meter out to see whether or not there's any error codes. This is not good. The last time when there was heat like this too, it, you know, like I said before, this van does not like the heat. Well, I got it to start. I don't know what it is. Could it be the starter? I hope not. I really hope not. But the last time this happened to me, yeah, it not only was it warm, but it ended up being that the starter was on its way out. And there's no misfire happening, so But like I said, it could be the heat too, because this van does not like the heat. So. So I'm guessing maybe in about a half an hour time, we're gonna know whether or not something really is wrong. So it's gonna be a scary thought, man, because that could be an additional. Well, depending on how much a starter would be, if that's even the problem. Like, I have to find my error code, my OBT2 reader. I don't know where it is at the moment. So, yes, you guys, if you guys have noticed, everything happens to me when it comes down to vehicles. You gonna let go of my key? All right, time to get in the store, get the stuff for what my mom wants, and then yeah. So got the Max President's Choice paper towel and the Sherman's, which is the best for my mom. You know, for her home, right? So, but yeah, I'm worried about the van right now. I hope it starts up when we leave. I took the risk, so we'll see what happens. So I was actually just briefly talking to a guy who's actually a retired mechanic, and he said to me, it doesn't sound like that it'd be the starter. If it's a starter, you'll know about it. It just, you know, it'll have crank, but you'll also have some kind of misfire. And I was like, misfire with that? I've never heard of that. But then he also said something about that sometimes the fuel pump, if it continues to do what it's doing because of the switch that I've got in there, that it could add too much fuel into the cylinders, and that could do it too, right? So, like, well, I'm gonna have to hope to hell that's all it is. It was just because, you know, that switch that I have in there, I'm wondering if I should get that taken out, because it could be. He said that the ignition switch or the choke switch can be an issue as well for this. It could cause problems apparently, and I didn't know that if it's not done correctly. So hopefully it's done correctly. Okay, so bring that out, put that there. Oh my God. You know, I would really like to know, for those of you who live in either California, you could be living in Texas where you get like extreme heat, or even in Florida. How do you manage through these heat waves? Because I know in Florida it's every day, no matter what, because, you know, the equator is like right there kind of thing, right? And same with anyone, or even if you're in Mexico or South America, what you know, South Central, whatever the hell they call it now. I would like to know how you guys can manage this heat, adjust to the heat, you know, and be able to live life. I just, it's hard to believe that, you know, after all these years, how I can't handle it anymore. Let's see, choke down. And it starts. Maybe that guy's right. Maybe it could be the choke causing the problems. Do I really need that switch in there? Like, honestly, I should find out if I really need that or not, because if I don't need it, maybe I'll get rid of it. You know, after all, who the hell's going to steal this van? You know, like, seriously, unless they want to go for a joyride, but no one's going to steal it. I think maybe the day comes, like, you know, before we do any kind of road trips, if I wanted to get the spark plugs and everything done, just to get it done so I can travel, I might try and get that switch taken out. I'm going to talk to my mechanic about that when I see him next, because if that's the case, then yeah. I know that the last mechanic who did the work did put that thing in there. They did such a poor job on all the stuff that was done on this van. It was unbelievable. And I only paid him half the bill. I was like, I'm only paying you half because half the van's not even working. And yeah, never went back to it. So the only plus part about that mechanic is that the owner actually came out to my van and figured out different problems of what the problem was, so I can get it to a shop. That was good service. But otherwise, when they did it in person, it was bad, man. So, all right. Anyways, yeah, that was really weird. I'm wondering. Oh, maybe. Or was it because I thought I did the switch and I really didn't? That's why I didn't start. Yes, you guys, I'm just absolutely mentally worn out and beat up. I want to sleep for 3 days, but I know I can't. All I know is I'm driving right now, and that's what matters. And I'm just trying to get you guys ideas. Rogers Communications, the most expensive. I did that on purpose because the driver was right beside my window when I said that. That was Rogers Cable. They, the company that took over Shaw. And whenever I see their trucks, vans, whatever, I'm like, yeah, the most expensive. I do it on purpose. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Oh! He goes through a stop sign. Oh my God. He's in a bit of a rush. Hope that's all it was. Whoa, I didn't realize I was taping. All good. At least I wasn't swearing. I'm trying to be chirpy, you guys. Like seriously. It's been a very, very, very rough and long bunch of years, I think in my next video, I'm going to share a little bit of the story about my YouTube journey going back about 13 years or roughly. I want to share with you guys exactly what happened, reason why my first channel didn't take off and whatnot. Let you guys know how long I've actually been on YouTube without money. Let's get upstairs. All right, you guys. So earlier, you guys knew I was having issues with starting up the van, right? Turned out it was my stupidity because I flicked the switch the wrong way. I'm getting tired of that switch, man. When being in van life and everything, I don't think it's needed. So, there might be one more good tune-up that this van's going to go through over at the mechanic before we absolutely hit the road. All right, so when that happens, okay, I'm gonna try and see if I can get that switch taken out. Just no, I'm not driving a freaking sports car, right? It's a 25-year-old van, which is really done really well, and a lot of people have been like, "Holy smokes, man, you're not going to the mechanic anymore?" I was like, "Because I don't need to." Right? That's the difference. Is everything's been done. A buddy of mine's actually in the Maritimes right now, and ever since he did everything brand new, he's had no problems except for when he was going up a hill and the van was being very, very, very sluggish. He let the transmission do its job, and when he kicked it in, oh man, he was like, ever since then, I guess the carbon fibers or whatever they call it made the difference. And it burned up the carbons, and then he said it's been running like a champ ever since, right? So anyways, what I'm gonna do here is I am going to get this wood and put it in here and have it ready, because I think if everything works out, whoo, heat wave. If everything works out for tomorrow, because I've got new shorts. Yeah, you guys heard it. I bought shorts. These are the shorts that are going to be used at my son's wedding. They've decided to use a shirt and shorts because, you know, it's going to be like 35 to 40 degrees or whatever as they're predicting, right, in 2 weeks out there, right? It's only Maple Ridge, but hey, you'll never know. If it's breezy like it is right now, it'll be perfect, right? Anyways, he said to wear shorts, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, anyways, so this wood, like I got this sucker here, which was underneath the bed, okay? There's gonna be that, and the other one down there is gonna be the back plates for here. I'm thinking, and then I gotta try and find something that can go like in the cook station there. And I keep on repeating this, but I have to for my own memory. I want something to go across in the middle down there. I might actually use this wood here, actually, right? This wood here to do that. So if everything goes well tomorrow, and if it's not as hot, even though they're predicting upwards to 34 out here, I might contemplate on sorry, I might contemplate on trying to get those done tomorrow. There's a guy that I know that lives up at a park, and he said that he can probably save a spot in front of his home for me to do work where there's a lot of trees, right, and get it done, right? There's a lot of construction around here and a lot of dust and everything, like, you know, it's just too much to breathe, right? So, and then hopefully I can get that done. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna throw this wood, okay, in here. So, and then what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna put you guys up on the roof, if this works. Hey, does that work? Does that work? Yeah, it does. Okay. So you guys can see how long that part is, right? So that can easily, like, I thought originally, I was thinking putting it in there and somehow, I don't know, using those brackets or some kind of bracket, and bracket here, and put it in there so that way something like a frying pan or whatever I decide to use will sit here, right? So that's an idea that I've got, but then I've also thought about, you know, the other wood, I gotta get that thing used, right? So the other thing that I thought about was maybe if I could use this as a backing. Okay, now, ow, damn it, that hurt. And then there's this one here, which I want to get utilized. So the other thing I thought of was if I was to try and put this across like this underneath, if I can. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible with this. Let's see. That's about the same size. Damn, that hurt when I crunched. Oh, shoot. Okay, that won't work. Okay. Damn it, I need to get this board used. I didn't do it. Heat stroke, probably. I had that earlier, trust me. I was down for the count for half today, and it was not good at all. So this one here would go right across. You guys can't see it, but it would, yeah, this would, oh, damn it, that freaking hurt, man. Something this size would work on both. Yeah, see, the other one's a little bit smaller, so, but lengthwise, just give me a second, guys. That would work out for the big one and the small one for both. So, a level, you can use also those for the level, and that way, you know, everything's looking good in there. But yet, well, actually, I forgot, this one's already got the backing. It's just the one that I painted doesn't have the backing yet, so I gotta figure out a backing for that. I don't have any other wood that can do that. Oh wait, maybe tomorrow when the workers are back out. She hasn't been doing too well with the heat, so I want to make sure she's gonna be okay. Maybe I'll ask them if they have any plywood down at the very end down there, and then I'll use that for the backing of the other one, free wood. I'm gonna ask her because she's really, really, really nice, eh? She's the one who tried to give me all those other pallets too. So yeah, so maybe tomorrow we'll slam dunk this, and then I will probably put more windshield wiper fluid in so I can empty this one here, and then the coolant stuff, because I have to deal with that hose. I might have to put a new one on there, just a small one, and so I'm gonna have to probably empty those suckers too. So no big deal. And then the back here will be getting done too. I'm thinking about maybe grabbing the bed platform and getting it just thrown in here and having it done and over with, so that way it's not where it is right now and it's ready to go, and then there'll be less excuses when I'm in with the van in order to get stuff done, except for the heat. I can't stand the heat right now. So all right, let's get the rest of this wood done. I'm heavily contemplating chopping some of these down, right? And or maybe they can be used down there. We'll see. The stuff that does not get used is going to be turned into bricks like this. And because of the fact that I was told that Vaseline, you could use Vaseline with cotton balls for a fire. I've seen Living the Van Life do that when he was up at Mount Baker in the winter, and he actually used Vaseline around the wood and cotton balls too, and it was just, you know, and it started up. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So yeah, so I'll have to try and find a spot. Maybe I could open up below the streamers, while I've only got one battery, and put the wood down there. Gee, utilizing space, what a concept, eh? Don't you guys say a word to that. It's like there is some pretty good wood here, you know, like there is gonna be some leftover wood, so I gotta figure things out accordingly, but yeah. I think that the motivation is really gonna come. Okay, like my son's wedding isn't that far away, you guys. We're only talking about maybe 2.5 weeks, and he's gonna be officially married. And it's like, you think to yourself, wow, it's that time already? And then I've had my mom's friends periodically say, hey, are you ready to have grandkids? I was like, do I look ready? And they all laugh at me like, well, you're at the age, you can't be a grandpa. It's like, I think I can wait yet. You know, with the way the economy is going and stuff like that, I want to see them more financially secured before they start having anything like that going on, right? So, anyways, I got one more thing I got to do.